Hello there everybody, Inu Master here with my final thoughts on Battlefield 4. Before I jump into this, I would just like to say I am in no way trying to bash this game. I think it's a good game and I respect all the time and effort that went into it. I'm just giving my opinions on some of the matters that I thought were really good and really bad. So, just for other people, because I know I like to look that stuff up on YouTube and whatnot. So first thing I want to talk about today is the campaign. First thing I'm going to say, campaign is extremely short. I think it took me about 4 hours to beat, 7 missions, that's it. And it's kind of sad actually because I see there was a lot of I think there was a lot of technical problems with the campaign, which I don't understand why there was when it was so short. It feels like it was just rushed out just so the game had a campaign. Which I understand people are not going to buy this. Most people, like, I don't think I know anyone who will buy this game because they played Battlefield 3 and they want to know the rest of the story. But you do have to know Battlefield 3 to get this story. I played Battlefield 3. I enjoyed Battlefield 3's campaign. I thought it was pretty good. But I honestly don't remember what it was about at all. And that's probably why I didn't understand any of Battlefield 4. All I know is Jin Jae is important. I don't know why he's important. Chang wants him. I don't know why Chang wants him. And that's all it really is about this campaign. Other than that, for the story, none of the characters are that good. I think. I mean, Pax may be the most redeemable character. One thing that I don't like in games like shooter FPSs like this are when your character does not talk. I understand why people do that in other games. It's because you're just supposed to take the role of the character. But it doesn't work for a game like this. A game like this, where it's trying to be all these big climactic scenes, it's basically like a movie. You want this character to have his own character, his own traits that implement in the game, and I would have much preferred to see that. But other than that, that's all I really have for the story. It was short, characters were storyline was unless you played Battlefield 3 and you understand it, and that's really it. As for the technical problems I saw, here's one of them with the plane. I don't know. There's a lot of this stuff with like vehicles and debris and crashing everything. I don't think debris hurts you because a helicopter landed right on top of me once after I killed it and it didn't do anything to me. The difficulty of the game is, I think, extremely easy. I played on hard mode, which I think's the hardest, unless after you played it you unlock another one, but I don't think you do. And I didn't have any problems. I think the hardest part of this game is aiming. For some reason, the aiming is so much different. At least it feels different when I'm playing in multiplayer than in here. Another big problem you're going to see right here, if you would go too far ahead, like I knew where I was supposed to go, I just ran ahead, enemies would just pop up. Like, they would just spawn in front of you. As you saw, I walked by, came back, enemies. A tank did that once too. I knew where a tank was coming. I thought a tank was going to come around the corner, so I just went to that corner. But no, it just popped up in front of me and killed me. But stuff like that really annoys me. I don't know why. It's just, I mean, I never had to deal with that in other games. Like, I played the same way I played Battlefield 3. I played the same way when I played like Call of Duty campaign. I just run ahead, shoot everything, do all that stuff. And I've never seen it that bad before. But yeah, that's like the most technical problems there are with the game. With the popping up enemies, enemies going through debris, like going through the ground, that happened a lot. Enemies from a distance that were unkillable and would just stand still until I got to a certain point. Like, I was trying to scout it out and kill them ahead of time, but that didn't work. AI are awful. They don't do anything. They don't kill anything. The enemy AI will run at you, and if they run past your teammates, they won't care. They will not shoot at your teammate. They will shoot directly at you, and your teammates won't help you. They'll just walk right by him. That really annoyed me as well. And they get you stuck all the time. So that's really it for the campaign. The thing that tipped me over the most about the campaign, that made me just like, why are you doing this, is the ending, when they give you the choice of who you're gonna give the sacrifice, basically. And everyone's gonna choose the same person. Everyone, I think, is gonna choose the girl, because you rip your other character the most, and why would you give it to the guy? But in that second, I was thinking, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But no, this game didn't make sense to me up to this point. I'm not gonna make it make sense now. I'm gonna give it to the guy that makes the most unsense. So I gave it to my partner, and it has no point because after you do it, the game's over. Like, there's no difference. Maybe a few lines of dialogue, and that's all the difference. But I don't know. The campaign just felt rushed, and I didn't enjoy it. I did it just to do it because I paid for the game. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna see what people put their efforts into. And for maybe 4 hours, I played it, and I was done. And I just felt like there was a lot of technical problems within those 4 hours, where I was just like, why? But anyways, let's talk about what people are probably going to buy this game for. The multiplayer. I almost said campaign. The multiplayer. What really gets me about the multiplayer is that it runs so smooth. Like, other than when the servers are which they have been. They've been a little blah lately. But when it's running, it's fantastic. I still, like I said in my first video, the mayhem that comes from that game is just fantastic. I love running around, having all this shit going on around me, and I feel like I'm doing something. It's just a great feeling that you don't get from most other games now. And sadly for the console, I still feel like you can't get it, because these maps are normally really big, and you only have 24 players. But luckily with the new consoles coming out, you'll get that 64 player, which makes a difference in my mind completely. One thing that gets me also is, like I said, it runs really, when the servers are good, it runs really smooth, the combat and everything. But for some reason that didn't transfer over to the campaign. I feel like the campaign should have been a lot smoother because of that, because they were able to refine this multiplayer so well. But I don't know. It runs really smooth. I enjoyed it a lot. Multiplayer's a lot of fun. The unlock system, it seems good. There's like appearances on your guns now apparently, where you can only unlock certain things from battle packs. Where after you reach a certain milestone, I think you can buy battle packs as well. But after you reach a certain milestone, like level cap, I think every 5 levels or something, you get a new battle pack, which you unlock. You can get like a gun, I think, attachments or skins for your guns, and some can only be unlocked by these battle packs, and it's all random. And some of the attachments don't make a difference. Like there's a silencer, and then there's another silencer that looks different, but it does the exact same thing. So I don't really understand what's up with that. I don't see the point in that. I mean, it does the exact same thing. No one's going to be looking at your gun. But I guess it's because, I think it's so that if you unlock something, that's what you're going to unlock in the battle pack. So that way you can still get to it, get the same stats, but you unlock it either by luck or you unlock it by skill. I think that's why they did it. I don't know. What else is there really to talk about the multiplayer? The maps, I think each map, a lot of the big maps I know have one big destructible thing. Like, we know in Shanghai, they have the tower. In the dam, you can actually blow up the dam. I don't know exactly what that does for the field, though. In the one with the giant saucer, the one, like, giant disc thing, I'm pretty sure you can break that. I'm pretty sure, because I think I saw that in the trailer. I haven't seen it in a game yet, though, where someone's broken it. And it actually works well, at least in the Shanghai building, and at least in, especially just for that. That's the only one I can really remember. Is not every time I saw it, I'm like, well, what's the point? Every game's gonna destroy it. Like, that's how it's gonna be. And at first, that is how it was. Everyone wants to see that the first few times. And I'm in the beta, that's all that everyone ever did. At least that's what I saw. But now everyone's seen it. They see how cool it is, and they're like, oh, okay. But now people don't always want to do that because they want that tactical. Like, they think how it benefits them. I know I always keep it because since I play engineer a lot, I would like to keep it so that I can get up there and I can just shoot down helicopters a lot easier. One thing that I would have liked to see, though, is more smaller buildings that had that same aspect. Like, there are other buildings in for Dawnbreaker, I think it's called, where you can go through the elevator, go to the top of the roof, and I would use that for, once again, getting helicopters and everything. And I would have liked to see if those buildings were destructible. And I still think that still would have been there. Like, you can either take the objective that's around that building and then secure that building and use it to your advantage, or if you're like in a stug and you need to get that building, you can destroy that building and then get the objective. It actually gives you those options, but I mean, technically it doesn't, but if you were able to do it, that's the option that you can do. And I would have enjoyed to see that more of those big type of buildings being able to destroy. And I mean, sure, you have to do more to destroy it, not just shoot it with a tank, but you know, that would have been cool. That's all I really can talk about for the multiplayer. It runs smooth. It's fun to play. I think the multiplayer itself is worth the money to buy the game. I think one other thing that may be a problem is maps. I know the maps are big, but I feel like there's a lack of maps. I should have looked this up because I don't even know how many there are. I think there's 7 or 6 or something like that. And I feel like that's really small for maps, for map variety. But of course they're gonna release more with the expansions and everything. But it would have been nice to see more of them just be in the initial game. Oh, and if you're gonna want to do well in multiplayer, you want to have a good squad. If you want to get a lot of points, you want to be in a good squad. You need someone that knows what a squad leader is supposed to do. You want to have good communication because that's the only way you're going to get a lot of points. Because if everyone's going the same thing, you're not going to get anything. And if no one's like calling shots, telling you go to this objective, do this, do that, you're not going to do anything. Because I mean, I remember I was squad leader once for a game, and then I didn't know anyone, but just by doing all the objectives and telling people what to do, you rack up a lot of points. I think that was the best game I had, where I had over like 8,000, 9,000 points, and I didn't even have that many kills. I think I had 20 kills or something like that. But that's the most fun you're gonna have when you're in a squad with people. You're communicating, you're doing what you're supposed to. You're not just going for kills like most, but you're like playing it like an objective game. And that's when that's when I think you're gonna have the most fun playing this game. And even though I said the campaign was bad, overall, I am enjoying Battlefield 4 a lot. I think it's a great improvement from Battlefield 3 in the aspect of multiplayer. At least, that's just how I feel about it. Campaign-wise, it took a big dive. Battlefield 3 campaign was I felt like it was a lot more defined, and there weren't nearly as many problems. But other than that, yeah, good game, enjoying it a lot. Not really much else to say. I forgot to get it. I still don't use vehicles when I play multiplayer, so I can't tell you how the flying is or how the jets are, because I was bad in Battlefield 3 with the jets. I don't think I got 1 kill with the jets in Battlefield 3. I was just awful with them. And as for helicopters, I still am too scared to try them, because I know I'm gonna get in it, and the one time I'm gonna get in it, it's gonna happen how it happened in Battlefield 3. My first time in a helicopter, everyone got in, I crashed immediately. I just ran right into a mountain, and then I left the game, and I'm like, I'm never getting in another helicopter. But with the new test range, you can try these things out, which is really nice. So that would be nice to do. Get a little more confidence before you play. So yep, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and in all, good game. Really I think it's worth the money. Multiplayer itself is worth the money, and if you have a couple friends to play with to form a squad, you're gonna have a lot of fun. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.